What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City latest news. I know I did one earlier in the week, but there's quite a few things that have happened since then. I said I'd have the roundup of the Champions League and the fallout from that, so I'll get through with that, but first we've got some things to get on with before we end up speaking about that. And the first thing to talk about is what we was talking about in the last video, was Manchester City, the football group that were in the City football group, wanted to add a Chinese team to their group. I said I was expecting it to be announced in the summer. Well, it got announced a couple of days ago. Manchester City, they've ended up signing a Chinese third-tier side called Sichuan Zhuniu. I hope that's how you say their name. But that's been bought, or should I say been bought, as part of a party along with UBTEC and China Sports Capital. So there's a triple bid there that's ended up buying them. So it's a joint purchase. It's going to be really interesting now to see which players that Chinese team end up buying, which manager they're going to employ. Manchester City going to send out youngsters. Manchester City going to use it as a way of scrutinising financial fair play. I've seen some people saying, wouldn't it be funny if Manchester City ended up signing Kylian Mbappe from this Chinese side? He could sign him for £400 million and City can just loan him back as a way of a middle finger up at financial fair play. I don't think they'll be using it for that, but I imagine that they'll be looking to try and sign some, well, not has-beens, but some players that want a lot of money is what they'll be looking to try and bring to China, to try and bring some profile, and it can only help in Manchester City boosting their profile in China too, which is of course what they're trying to do in the Asian market. Hence we're heading there on pre-season. Now we're going to crack on with the Champions League. Manchester City ended up beating Schalke 3-2 in our first leg last 16 match. Still plenty of hard work left to do at the Etihad. That Sane free kick was absolutely wonderful though, wasn't it? Absolutely mesmerising, brilliant. It was just like the Hoffenheim goal, near enough, central to goal. He is a talent, isn't he, Leroy Sane? Absolutely brilliant. He made the difference in the last 12 minutes coming on for Manchester City. Absolutely brilliant. Ederson ended up picking up an assist. He's picked up an assist in the Premier League and now in the Champions League too. He's brilliant, isn't he, Ederson? Brisk oozes confidence. People say they have problems with his saving ability and his ability to shot stop. I don't think he's the best at it, but I still think he's a very good goalkeeper at being able to save shots. His requirements with his feet, that can't be disputed though. He's absolutely brilliant, and there isn't a keeper like him in the world, and I wouldn't swap him in the world for anyone. He's been absolutely brilliant for Manchester City. Now, one thing that was trying to overshadow the Champions League game was VAR. Now, obviously I've had a chance to reflect on this, the handball incident, and also the Fernandinho shirt tug. UEFA's come out and had to explain that they agree with both of them decisions. What was farcical about it was the referee wanted to have a look at the incident. He couldn't have a look at the incidents because the screen weren't working. So surely if the screen isn't working and the referee can't have a look at him, he can't be relying on some guy somewhere making a decision for him. The referee on the field has made his own decision. He gave a corner. He had a good view of that handball. He's obviously deemed it not handball on his own first judgment, yet it's been deemed a handball from VAR, slowing it down. It all comes a little bit farcical. It doesn't really matter in the end. We ended up coming out 3-2 winners. However, it does leave questions about VAR, how they're going to utilise VAR, how long it's going to take them to make a decision. UEFA said they didn't have a problem with the time as long as they made the correct decision. They feel like the correct decision had been made, and there's a load of disputes now over handball, about the offside rule, and everything just needs clarification. The fact of the matter is Manchester City just need to cut out the mistakes. If you don't make the mistakes, if Fernandinho doesn't pull his shirt, the offside flag should go up. And if Ederson, he came and collected the ball anyway, punched it clear, wouldn't have had the problem there. So that didn't need to happen. And with a handball, the shot was goal bound. Ederson had it covered. If Otamendi defended properly, had his arms behind his back like you meant to, they wouldn't have this dispute. They probably wouldn't have scored them goals, and it'd have probably been nilled, and we'd probably still have won the game. So just cut out the mistakes. That's probably what Pep was on about in his press conference after the game. Cut out the mistakes, play a good performance. You do that, you're ready to face the big boys, the elite, in the quarterfinals, in the semi-finals, even the Champions League final should we get there. So that's what we need to be aiming for, and we've got a good chance of doing that in the second leg at the Etihad. So it'll be interesting to see if they do learn their lessons, and it'll be interesting to see if Otamendi does get his spot back. Now, a bit of a dampener on the game after the game. Man City released a statement. It was put on Sky Sports as well, I saw. There's been an alleged assault outside the ground for a Manchester City fan. A 32-year-old man has been put in hospital, is in a critical condition after some assault happened, obviously, outside of the ground, which isn't nice to see. So hopefully a speedy recovery to that Manchester City fan, and hopefully that blue can get well soon. Not what we want to be seeing. Don't understand why there's so much violence at football, but there we go. I think people just need to tone it down. It's sad, it is. I find it really sad. So hopefully he gets well soon, and best wishes over to him and anyone else caught up in that assault. Now, FA Cup news, Manchester City, we've been drawn away to Swansea City, as you may already know. That's now been selected for TV. All of the quarterfinals have been selected for TV. Have a crack at this. Watford versus Crystal Palace is the early kickoff on the Saturday, the 16th. That's on BT Sport, 12:15 kickoff. Watford, Crystal Palace fans be able to get to Watford isn't too difficult. Going from South London to just on the outskirts of North London, not too difficult. And then Manchester City have to go to Swansea, which is in Wales. A lot further to travel. The trains are apparently rubbish. That's a 5:20 kickoff. Unusual time, but that's because there's a later kickoff in that day. Not really considering the travelling fans for Manchester City there, it makes it very awkward and be able to get to that. And then that's also on BT Sport 2. And then on Saturday night, on the 16th, you've got Wolves versus Manchester United, 7:55 kickoff on BBC. And that's not very fair on Manchester United fans. They've got to travel from Manchester or London, and they've got to get to the Midlands and get to Wolves. Again, not an easy travelling at night. They've not had handy fixtures with the match against Arsenal, which I think was Monday night, along with the Chelsea game, which was a Monday night. Or was it Friday night, the Arsenal game? So they've had to keep travelling at night. And considering they're travelling the furthest distance for City and United fans, you'd think it'd make more sense to have us on the early kickoff on the Saturday and have United on the Sunday 2 o'clock kickoff, which has actually gone to Millwall Brighton, and Brighton being able to get to Millwall. Again, it isn't that difficult getting from Brighton to the centre of London. You're looking at an hour and a half worth of travel. It's pretty ludicrous and pretty strange, but then since when have the FA cared about what the fans want and what works well? But there we go. Another strange kickoff, by the way, on BBC on that Sunday 2 PM kickoff for that Millwall versus Brighton game. Premier League have also confirmed that the season will start on August 10th for the 2019-2020 season, which also means that they've confirmed when deadline day will be, which will be on August 8th. Obviously, they're having the transfer deadline day before the Premier League starts. That was sanctioned, I think, a couple of seasons ago because teams were unhappy about losing some of their best players when the season's already started. So that's still obviously in place. And just as I was about to start editing this video, we've actually just had some breaking news go through that Chelsea have been given a transfer ban with relations to them signing 12 minors, and they've been given, that's not minors digging, by the way, that's minors as in people that are underage and dodgy transfer dealings. And Football Leaks covered this in the late parts of 2018, and so Chelsea, coincidentally by FIFA, have been given a big fine and also been given a transfer ban for the next 2 windows. So I presume that's the summer window and the winter window. So they're needing a big overhaul that's probably not going to be able to happen now. They've got 90 days to sort it out, and I imagine probably appeal to. Manchester City were also talked about in Football Leaks, if you remember, about signing players underage and dodgy transfer dealings. It was recommended in that article that Chelsea would be given a 2-year ban and Manchester City would be given a 1-year ban. So if Chelsea's had that 2-year ban, which FIFA have deemed too harsh, and given it a 1-year ban, it'll be interesting to see if Man City are given a 1-year ban too, or whether their punishment's going to be less than 2. Of course, Chelsea need to overhaul their squad. There's all kinds of situations going on with players like Eden Hazard that wants to leave. Where they're going to end up with that, they're not going to be able to sell him. Where does it leave the Pulisic deal for them to bring him into? Brings a load of questions into up for Manchester City. Though we don't need an overhaul of the squad, so if we are going to face a transfer ban, it's not all doom and gloom for us to be given a full season where we can't sign players. Like I said, we're expecting to sign 1 or 2 players, like a defensive midfielder and a left back. You feel like once that's been clarified, we can get them done. We don't really need to sign anyone, but it's not all doom and gloom. It's not as bad as what it is for Chelsea right now. So I'll keep you up to date if Man City are given a transfer ban or not. Hopefully we'll have clarification of that very soon, and I'll keep you up to date on the Man City latest news about them dealings. But very interesting, we will keep an eye on that. So there we go, that's been the Manchester City latest news. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a big thumbs up. Make sure you press the red button and subscribe, and press the bell to put your push notifications on to be notified when I've uploaded, so you can stay up to date with all the latest Manchester City happenings and Manchester City news and transfer news, previews and analyses and reactions too. Got some of them coming up too. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Check me out on social media, links to my Twitter and Instagram in the description below if you want to go follow me on there, and I'll see you all again for the next video. So it's been JSGC. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.